it's very likely that if you're wanting to start a business, it's because you're passionate, it's because you want to make an impact, but you also want to make an income. Hello, YouTube family. We are live and we are back. I'm Lakeisha Annang and I'm a side hustle coach. I'm on a mission to help 10,000 ladies turn their skills and expertise into a profitable side hustle. Today, I'm coming in and I am talking about the 5 productivity hacks that help me replace my 9 to 5. Okay, so many of the ladies in my world are women who want to grow their income. You have probably reached a point in your career where your career looks great on paper, but it's just not given anymore. You have skills, you have expertise that you want to monetize. You've been thinking about starting a business, but you've probably been thinking, how do I manage this alongside my 9 to 5? I've done it. Is it possible? I've seen my clients do it. It is totally possible. But I'm going to help you and I'm going to be spilling the tea on these 5 productivity hacks that are going to help you who especially want to replace their 9 to 5. So, first things first, my calendar became my best friend. I specifically use Google Calendar, and that's for my personal life. But for work, I also use that as an opportunity to literally note down how I wanted to spend my time. And no, I wasn't creating and starting a business whilst I was working, like during my 9 to 5, well, working hours, so to speak. However, what I would do is organize my personal diary, number one, to see exactly what I was doing outside of my 9 to 5, whether I was commuting, whether I was having dinner, like whatever it was, I was noting it all down. What that allowed me to do is see the pockets of time that I was available to be working on my business. This was really helpful because what I started to do is work on my business whilst I was commuting. I had a very long commute, so it came in so handy. And not only did I block time out to help me focus on my business, but I was very specific in on what I was going to be doing. So I didn't just say commuting time, I'm going to be working on my business. No, I said, okay, I'm going to be commuting Monday for 2 hours. I am going to plan out a week of worth of content ideas. I got very specific in noting down exactly what I needed to do for my business. I mentioned I wasn't working during my 9 to 5 technically, but best believe when I had my 1 hour break, I would spend half of that on my business, meaning that I had 30 minutes. With that 30 minutes, again, I was very clear in what I wanted to do. Sometimes I was responding to email inquiries, other time it was sending emails or even posting, but I got very specific on how exactly I would be using my time based on all the time I did have. Sometimes if I wanted to, I would even maybe leave the office later, not because I was working on my 9 to 5, but because it was just easier to wrap up doing a few bits there in the office and then make my way home. Meaning that if I'd done that, I didn't have to do much when I came back home. So make the calendar your best friend, but also be very specific on how you will be time blocking your activities. Number two, I got very clear on the free time that I had. Free time, not just meaning the times that I was free, but also I like to think about it as pocket times. So if, for example, you won't be able to tell now, but I'm a natural hair girl. My hair is 4C. This is straightened. My hair's not usually like this. But if I am having a hair day, which literally can take the whole day, and I am sitting there treating my hair for perhaps 30 minutes, that is an opportunity for me to do something else. If it's I'm not the type of person that I don't like working on the weekends. However, if I did need to take a quick train journey, or it was a Saturday and I was making a train journey to meet my friends, I would make a note that that's a bit of pocket time. And I didn't need to spend the whole journey, but I could at least spend 20 minutes posting, for example. So I want you to think about, number one, let's really get clear, make the calendar your best friend. Number two, what are the pockets of time that you do have? If it is just, you know, sitting on a train, sitting on a bus, what bits of pocket time come up that can allow you to effectively multitask from time to time? Number three, and before I get to number three, if you like this and you want more, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know which of these productivity hacks you will be taking away to replace your 9 to 5. The first thing I learned to do was say no. Look, if I wanted to start a business, I had to get real serious. I had to stop being a people pleaser, because not only was this going to be helpful for me, but this was going to be helpful for the type of businesswoman I wanted to be. So I had to start saying no to things that I knew were going to get in the way of creating the life that I wanted to build. And the truth is, if you are someone who you want to build financial freedom, you want to build your dream life, you're going to have to start learning to say no more. What are you constantly saying yes to that is making you spend time on what you could have been otherwise spending on your business? The fourth thing was I had to start creating new habits. The truth is, I didn't have any business experience. I hadn't done it before. And being a businesswoman was not going to be the same as working in management in the time at in my corporate role. I had to form new habits, whether that was getting comfortable posting on social media, which is a whole nother story, because I didn't like social media before I started my business, and I'm here on YouTube now. I've come a long way, but best believe I was not interested in social media. So for me, yes, I wanted to put my business out there and post on social media, but also it was a habit that I had to form. So having a posting schedule, taking time to review my bookings, taking time to plan for my business, literally scheduling meetings with myself so that I can focus on a business, were habits that I knew would continue well into where my business was fully formed. At the time, these were just new habits that I wanted to implement to essentially help me with that identity shift, because I went from working in 9 to 5 to being a CEO. I didn't want to have to wait to replace my 9 to 5 before I considered myself as a CEO. When I made the decision to start my business, it was game time. So, what habits can you form that will help you later on down the road? So, think about those CEO habits, and then let's get going. And number 5, which was huge, was celebrating my wins and rewarding myself. Listen, business is not for the faint-hearted, and business is not a hobby. If you're doing something just for fun, that is a hobby. It's very likely that if you're wanting to start a business, it's because you're passionate, it's because you want to make an impact, but you also want to make an income. And when you are starting a business, you may not see results in seconds. So it is very important to, number one, be measuring your progress and be rewarding yourself, and not waiting until the perfect moment that things are wonderful before you start celebrating your wins. I was doing this like from the beginning. I was doing this when I had just reached 20 followers, 100 followers, 300 followers, 500 followers. I still continue to do it now. If I hit a milestone, I don't wait until this big grand milestone. But if I know that I'm showing up for myself and I'm taking action for me, I am scheduling time to either get myself a nice hot drink, take myself on a spa date, or purchase some piece of clothing that I've had my eye on, or doing a cute hairstyle. I am rewarding myself. Why? Because no one can acknowledge your wins the way you can. You know how you've showed up for yourself. You know how you've put in the work. So if you want to be productive, yes, focus on getting the results, but reward yourself on the way. This is going to keep your motivation levels sky high, and this is just going to provide you an incentive to keep going. even when you may not necessarily want to. So if you've liked these 5 hacks, comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know which one will you be choosing. Let me know in the comments.